Do you feel the weight of the world pressing down on your shoulders, as if every choice you make is just a ripple in an ocean too vast to ever influence? You're not alone. Every person, at some point, stares at the horizon of their life and wonders if they even matter, if their actions have any meaning, or if the world itself is simply a storm too chaotic to tame. But what if I told you that changing the world doesn't begin with power, influence, or wealth? What if the first step toward transformation isn't out there in the streets or boardrooms, but quietly, deeply inside your own mind? The monks have known this for centuries. They sit in silence not to escape life, but to understand it. And what they understand is this: if you want to change your world, you must first change the world within you. Imagine a forest at dawn. The trees stand tall, rooted deeply, yet every morning they stretch just a little further toward the light. The wind whispers secrets through the leaves, a language only the patient can understand. Your mind is like that forest. Your thoughts, your fears, your desires are the trees, each one vying for attention, each one holding stories you've been telling yourself for years. And just like the forest, if you wait passively for the storm to pass, you remain stagnant. But if you choose to nurture the soil of your mind, to prune away the branches that no longer serve you, to water the seeds of intention and courage, you begin to grow. You begin to change. The monk I met years ago told me a simple truth that changed everything for me. He said, "People search for miracles in the streets, in books, in other people, but the true miracle is always within." To see the world differently, first see yourself differently. Think about that. How often do we blame our surroundings for our unhappiness? We complain about society, about leaders, about the economy, about luck. We believe that until the world shifts to accommodate us, we cannot begin. But this is an illusion. The world is not a mirror of your circumstances. It is a reflection of your perception, your choices, your willingness to act differently. When your internal world changes, the external world inevitably responds. Consider the story of a sculptor. He looks at a block of marble and sees chaos, rough edges, imperfections, wasted potential. Most people would see only the weight, the immobility, the impossibility of change. But the sculptor sees the form hidden inside. He chisels carefully, patiently, revealing the beauty that was always there, waiting. Your mind is like that block of marble. Your habits, fears, and self-doubts are the rough edges. Every act of reflection, every choice to act with courage, every moment of honesty chisels away at the stone, slowly uncovering the masterpiece within. And as that masterpiece emerges, your world shifts because people respond not to your circumstances, but to the presence you bring into them. The monk also taught me that fear is the greatest thief of transformation. Fear disguises itself as logic, as practicality, as caution. It whispers, "Wait, not now. You're not ready." But in truth, fear is the echo of your own untapped potential. It is your mind screaming, warning you that growth is near. The moment you feel fear, the monk said, mark it as a signpost, not a stop sign. Lean into it. Step forward even if your legs shake. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act despite it. And every time you choose courage, however small the act, you bend reality just a little toward the life you want to live. Now let's talk about patience. In a world obsessed with instant results, patience is almost a forgotten virtue. Yet the monk explained that transformation, like the seasons, cannot be rushed. A seed does not force its way out of the soil. It waits for the sun, the rain, and the right moment. Similarly, change within your mind, your heart, and your life requires time. Do not despise the slow moments. They are the roots growing in silence. They are the unseen work that will one day hold up the branches of your success, your wisdom, your peace. When you become impatient, you risk cutting the roots before the tree can bear fruit. Trust in the process. Trust in yourself. But internal change is not enough if it does not radiate outward. The monk reminded me of a simple principle. Energy flows where attention goes. If you cultivate gratitude, compassion, and understanding, your world begins to mirror these qualities. Acts of kindness, even small ones, create ripples. Smile at a stranger. Listen to someone who needs to be heard. Offer help without expectation. These are not trivial gestures. They are the seeds of transformation in action. Your world shifts not because you command it to, but because your presence becomes a force of harmony rather than conflict. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you truly observed the world without judgment? Not as a critic, not as a consumer of news, social media, or opinion, but as a quiet witness. The monk would sit for hours, eyes open, heart still, and watch life unfold. He saw beauty in imperfection, wisdom in struggle, opportunity in failure, and then he would act not impulsively, not out of desire, but with a clarity that comes from deep observation. To change your world, you must first see it clearly. Remove the filters of fear, anger, and expectation. Observe, understand, and then act with intention. You may wonder, but what if I fail? What if my world resists change despite my efforts? Here is the twist the monk revealed. The world is not your opponent. Resistance is not punishment. Resistance is feedback. It tells you where your beliefs, habits, and limitations still lie. Every obstacle, every disappointment, every moment of frustration is a teacher in disguise. And when you approach life as a student rather than a victim, you begin to transform obstacles into stepping stones. The river does not fight the stones in its path. It flows around them, shaping them over time. So too must you flow around your challenges, shaping your mind, your character, your destiny. And then comes the hardest lesson. Release attachment to outcome. The monk warned me that so many people sabotage their own transformation because they are fixated on results. They want immediate recognition, wealth, power, or admiration. But the true shift begins when you act without attachment, when you commit fully to the process, trusting that the universe will respond in its own time. Focus on the quality of your actions, the integrity of your decisions, the purity of your intentions. When you do this, change is inevitable not because you forced it, but because you embodied it. Imagine standing on a mountaintop at sunrise. The sky erupts in colors you cannot name. The wind brushes against your skin. And for a moment, you understand that the world is both vast and intimate, terrifying and beautiful. This is the feeling of aligning your inner world with your outer world. When your thoughts, actions, and intentions are in harmony, your presence becomes magnetic. People are drawn to your clarity, your calm, your courage. You influence without force, you inspire without words, and slowly, imperceptibly, your environment begins to shift. This is the subtle power of inner transformation. Now, let us address the elephant in the room, doubt. Doubt is not your enemy. It is the shadow of potential. When you feel uncertain, it means you are on the brink of discovery, on the edge of growth. The monk taught me a simple practice. Whenever doubt arises, pause, breathe, and ask, what is this doubt teaching me? Often doubt reveals the beliefs you inherited, the fears you accepted, the limitations you imposed on yourself. By confronting it, by learning from it, you dismantle the barriers that stand between you and the life you are capable of creating. And here is the final, perhaps most shocking truth. Changing your world is less about grand gestures and more about subtle shifts. It is not about saving the world in one heroic act. It is about saving the world within your own mind, heart, and actions, one choice at a time. It is about showing up with integrity when no one is watching, speaking truth, even when it is uncomfortable, loving without expectation, creating without guarantee, and living fully in the present moment. These small, consistent choices accumulate like drops of water, carving canyons, shaping landscapes, transforming realities. So where do you start? Start here. Start now. Close your eyes. Breathe. Observe your thoughts without judgment. Ask yourself the questions that matter. What am I afraid of? What am I avoiding? What truths am I ignoring? And then, with courage, with patience, with humility, take the first step. It might be a quiet step, invisible to the world, but it will ripple outward in ways you cannot yet imagine. Commit to self-awareness, to daily reflection, to conscious action. Watch as the world around you responds, slowly at first, then unmistakably. You are the sculptor, the gardener, the river, the forest. Your world is not fixed. It is a canvas waiting for your brush, a soil waiting for your seeds, a stage waiting for your presence. Remember, the monk's wisdom is simple yet profound. Transformation begins within. There is no shortcut, no external magic, no one to rescue you. But within the stillness of your own mind lies the power to reshape reality, to bend circumstances toward possibility, to awaken the best version of yourself. The journey is not easy. It is filled with doubt, fear, resistance, and delay. But it is worth it. Every moment you choose clarity over confusion, courage over fear, action over passivity, you change not only your world, but the world itself. And finally, carry this with you. Every action, every thought, every choice matters. You are not insignificant. You are not powerless. You are the author of your life, the architect of your reality, the unseen force behind every ripple that spreads from your heart to the world. The question is no longer whether you can change your world, it is whether you will choose to begin. And the moment you do, you step into a rhythm older than time, wiser than any teacher, more powerful than any obstacle. The moment you do, your life and the world around you will never be the same. If this message resonated with you, pause for a moment and reflect. Ask yourself, what small step can I take today to align my inner world with the life I want to create? What fear can I face? What truth can I accept? What action can I commit to right now? The answers are waiting quietly inside you. If you're ready to embark on this journey, join our community here on Echoes of Greatness. Comment below with the first step you will take, like this video if it moved you, and subscribe for more wisdom that transforms not just your mind but your life. The world is waiting for you not to rescue it, but to awaken it through the force of your own transformation.